Much for checking out my show. Really appreciate it. Appreciate all the support. Please click to subscribe. Really helps me grow the channel. Outside Nancy Guthrie's house, of course. It's now day 20. It's Friday. I know I got my days mixed up yesterday, but I think just a little sleep deprivation. I wanted to get into a couple of things in this episode. Interesting statement from the sheriff's office today about the possibility of more than one suspect, which I'm going to get into. There's more that I want to talk about with the possible Mexico connection. I also just want to show you guys, like, outside of Nancy's house, there are so many more flowers and just sort of like things that have shown up really over just the last couple of days. A lot of the neighbors have been turning out. This one says, Nancy, may this light guide you home, and there's a little light right there. Nancy, please come home. Bring Nancy home. Nobody is holding your mother hostage. And just like, look at all these flowers. Dear Guthrie family, your neighbors stand with you. There's so many out here. We pray for you, Savannah and family. Prayers for Nancy Guthrie. Let Nancy come home. It's interesting, the neighbors, in the beginning it seemed like were kind of, not standoffish, but I think they just were trying to be respectful to the family, and now they seem to be coming out more, talking more, bringing more flowers. This is kind of interesting. I saw this earlier. This says, an open letter to the kidnappers. Feel free to read and return it to this envelope. One of my producers said this was over here, and I actually haven't read it yet, so I don't know what it's going to say. A reminder from a fellow sinner. The depictions in these pictures is happening whether you know it or not. It is also happening whether you like it or not. Do not be the reason Our Lady of Guadalupe weeps. Yes, you are in my rosaries. Our Lady of Guadalupe, pray for us. Kind of interesting. And then there's like some religious photos. Interesting. So anyway, there's a lot more sort of showing up out here, almost like sort of a memorial now forming outside Nancy's house. So the latest on the investigation I'm going to get into, there was a little update from the sheriff's office, the possibility of more suspects, and that they specifically put that in the release I thought was interesting. And I've got a retired FBI agent who actually specialized in Mexico and worked in Mexico, and I'm really interested to get his take on a couple of things. So all that's coming up in this episode of Brian Incident. Hey guys, all right, I want to give you guys the latest updates on the Nancy Guthrie investigation. We get these updates every day from the Pima County Sheriff's Office, and they kind of go through several different bullet points. I'm going to again get to my guest in a second, who's going to help me really dive into what they may not be telling us and what may be happening behind the scenes. And I can assure you, there are things happening behind the scenes, obviously, that we don't know about, because there are literally hundreds of law enforcement officers in Tucson right now. You see them around, and there's a lot of investigating happening. So I'll get to that in a second with my guests, but let me read you their official update for today, for Friday. They say detectives and agents continue to actively follow up on leads. Neighbors have submitted surveillance video from the area, and investigators are carefully reviewing the footage. That's interesting because you remember we saw the detectives at Nancy Guthrie's neighbor's house the other day looking at what appeared to be like a Ring camera floodlight outside, and we've seen them at other houses too. So apparently they are still getting surveillance footage from the area. DNA analysis is underway on biological evidence recovered during the investigation. This process can be lengthy. There is no additional information available at this time. So DNA analysis, we know that there was DNA found inside Nancy Guthrie's house. I've told you guys about this before. That didn't belong to Nancy Guthrie and didn't belong to anyone in her immediate circle. And why they say that could take time is because they're doing investigative genetic genealogy. And you guys have heard me talk about this before. I won't go in depth on it again, but it's what they use to basically crack the Brian Kohberger case. And it takes more time than just traditional DNA comparisons, because they go into genealogy databases and they try to find distant relatives of a suspect, third, fourth cousin, and then they can work their way in that way. So that could take time. It took time in the Kohberger case. And just for a little bit of perspective, some people are saying like, oh my gosh, is the Nancy Guthrie case cold? Has it gone cold? It's day 20 right now when I'm making this video. You look at other cases like Kohberger, for example, Brian Kohberger, it was 47 days until Brian Kohberger was arrested. The murders were on November 13th. The arrest was on December 30th. So 47 days. And again, we're only on day 20 right now. Gabby Petito, her remains weren't found for 39 days. So while it feels like...
Holy fish! Arby's crispy fish sandwich is in the meat and 3 box.
The final decision on the timing of D-Day will be mine, and mine alone.
Things aren't moving and 20 days is forever. You know, sometimes these investigations take a lot of time. So just kind of some perspective there. Back to the update. With suspects, they say investigators continue seeking information to help identify the individual captured on doorbell surveillance video. As the sheriff has previously stated, while we are requesting information related to the person seen on video, and this is the part that I sort of zeroed in on, investigators are not ruling out the possibility that more than one person may be involved, which I thought it was interesting that they put that in their release today. I've heard the sheriff say that before, they're not ruling it out, but the fact they put that line in today, not ruling out the possibility that more than one person may be involved, it's a theory that I've heard a lot about. A lot of the law enforcement experts I've interviewed have said there's no way one person was able to pull this off by themselves. Of course, we see the suspect on the Ring camera at the front of the house, but is it possible there was someone behind the house? Is it possible there was a getaway driver parked a couple of blocks away? Could someone have really pulled this off alone? And again, most of the experts I talked to say no, there's probably someone else involved, and it's just interesting that now the sheriff's office is putting that in black and white. Investigators are not ruling out the possibility that more than one person may be involved. In terms of calls coming in, they say our 911 communication center continues to receive hundreds of calls daily related to the case. We ask that only actionable tips be reported to investigators. Comments or opinions about the investigation should not be directed to 911. So basically, and I've heard this, I mean, they're getting like so many calls in their 911 center, and if you have an opinion about the case or just like a theory, you're kind of just bogging down their phone lines by calling, and so they are saying, please don't do that because they're already overwhelmed with calls right now. So that does make sense. People probably shouldn't be doing that, obviously. No press briefings scheduled right now. Sheriff will not be holding any mail and media availability going into the weekend. So it seems like we're not going to be getting a significant update unless something happens. And that, I mean, just from covering these kinds of stories, nothing quite like this, but I want to think back to even Coburg or other big ones. You never know when the big update's going to come. I mean, I didn't know. I got a little bit of a heads up when Brian Koberger was brought into custody, but, you know, we never know when that moment's going to come, which is why I'm still here and I'm waiting and kind of always on pins and needles. But barring anything from happening, the sheriff is saying there's not going to be any interviews or press briefings going into the weekend. I'm joined now by Eric Dickerson, a retired FBI agent. Eric, thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. Thanks for being patient with me. I had to kind of run to get better service. The service outside Nancy's house is not very good. But I wanted to start out by asking you, it's been kind of a slow day with the investigation, at least with what they're telling the media. The most interesting thing, they put out a release a little while ago, the sheriff's office, saying that they're open to the possibility of there being more than one suspect, which is something that I've thought about before. There's obviously the one person we see on the Ring camera in the front. But what are your thoughts on that? I mean, do you think there could be other people involved?
Well, Brian, in many ways, this doesn't meet your stereotypical kidnapping or hostage-taking scenario. And normally, in a normal kidnapping case or abduction case, we usually see more than one subject. There's usually at least one. The nature of a kidnapping or trying to take somebody against their will is difficult as is. But typically, you need somebody to drive the car, and you need some level of support to make that happen.
A lot of people have said, experts, that this was an amateur person based on what you see in the video. The gun doesn't fit the holster, and trying to use the grass to cover the camera first before pulling it. But I was thinking about it today. I mean, we're now on day 20. So even though they appear amateur, I mean, it seems like whoever did this or the people who did this I mean, they sort of are, it seems like they're outsmarting law enforcement, at least for now.
Yeah, and it's clear that law enforcement is combing through every piece of evidence. They're looking at forensics, they're looking at digital evidence, they're doing a wide canvassing of witnesses or neighbors or acquaintances or even family members. And they will look at every part of this. I do agree with you in the sense that to abduct somebody and hold them for 20 days is not an easy feat. So I would be reluctant to call them amateur just by the brief visual that we have on them, on the individual at the door, on the ring camera. I would be really reluctant to say that they're amateur in that sense. Of course, his attire and the way he conducts himself is abnormal, is different, but here we are on day 20 of this investigation, and they're still struggling for additional evidence or clues.
And I reported that they were going to gun stores in Tucson with a list of 40 names and 40 photos. And there's new reporting today that they're doing the same thing at some hotels. What does that tell you? I mean, on day 20, should that make us think that they haven't really narrowed it down to a couple of people?
Well, what I can tell, simply by the nature of the case and what's been revealed to the public at least, that doubtful they have contact with the kidnappers or with the abductors. It would be very unusual to be so out front in the media and requesting public assistance when you have some level of connection with the perpetrators. So that tells me that they're still struggling for indicators and clues. You mentioned that they're going to gun stores. It would not be, it would be common or it would be normal for them to visit gun stores, sporting outlets, anything that the brief video may have revealed as to clothing, accessories, holster, or any other clue that might direct them to some retail outlet that might sell that.
What about a vehicle? I mean, they still haven't given a vehicle description. There's not a lot of cameras in Nancy's neighborhood. It's really dark at night. But I just think back to some other cases that I've covered, and it seems like once they get a vehicle, it all kind of comes together. How important? I mean, how important is that? Do you think?
It's a critical piece of evidence. And what they're going to do is they're going to do some route analysis and look at possible points of egress from her house, and they're going to analyze every piece of video footage that they may be able to come across, either from private residences or from business establishments, or even traffic cameras or whatever's available.
What do you make of how close we are to Mexico here? Because you worked in Mexico, right, for the FBI?
Yeah, I led the cross-border violence team, and we dealt with hundreds of these cases related to that cross-border element. The mere fact that we're close to the border, close enough to the border with this incident, would indicate to me that they should be looking at that collaboration just as a piece of normal investigative procedure. Is there a possibility that they could
Hi,
be
Erica.
across the border with
Hi,
the victim?
Jamie.
Yes. that
Sorry,
is
doggy
possible.
porn.
In 20 days, they could be clear across the country or in a different country altogether.
Hi,
So
Melly
as
Jo.
part of their investigation,
Hi,
I
Shag.
would assume that they are looking at that possibility.
I went yesterday. I drove to Nogales. It was just like a little over an hour from where Nancy lives. And I parked and walked in.
Cooey
because someone was
Lulu.
telling me like you can get in big trouble if you bring your rental car in Mexico. So I was like, let me just park. Walked in. There was no one stopped me. Like, you know, I went through the official little crossing area, but no one asked for my ID. I walked through a metal detector.
Hi, Wild
but the lady
Angel.
didn't look like she was paying attention, really. It was just like you just walked in, basically. That was it. And I was watching the cars, and it looked like the same for most of the cars going into Mexico. Like maybe they were stopping every 5 or 10, but it wasn't like when you come back into the United States where it's like a real check. How is it real? Would it be that easy to kidnap someone and get them into Mexico? Because it seemed like it would be easy.
Well, it depends on a lot of factors. Depends on the time of day. It depends on whether or not this was an organized crime group that has
Hope you're well, Erica. It's good to see you.
collaborated or corrupted officials to be able to transport or go unchecked, essentially. So there's a lot of factors that come into play. But to your point about crossing the border.
Thank you all for double tapping the
US
screen.
Documents checks, going south, not so much, but tens of millions of people cross that border every year along the 2,000-mile stretch of border. So it is not impossible to cross with a victim of a kidnapping. It's happened many times before, but again, it depends on a lot of factors.
What is the collaboration like between the FBI and the Mexican law enforcement? Since you were, right in the middle of that when you were working there.
Well, the Mexican officials have a tremendous amount of experience working abductions and kidnappings. My team alone, we work hundreds of those cases with collaborating with Mexican officials. So they do have their own set of skills, their own set of tools, their own technology.
Hey, April.
that they
Good to
bring
see you.
to assist on these cases. Again, what this boils down to is that critical piece of evidence, in my opinion, whether or not that's technical evidence, digital forensics, or perhaps a DNA analysis that they've been talking about, witness information, or as you said, identifying another co-conspirator on this, or
Doggy
the-
porn.
Any one of those could bring a tremendous amount of information and leads to this case.
Because it was interesting, we had FBI sources who confirmed that they've been in touch with Mexican law enforcement. And then Mexican law enforcement put out their own statement saying, we have no reason to believe that Nancy Guthrie is in Mexico. And the sheriff has also said that here.
Thank
but
you,
he
April.
also said we just don't know. Like, he wasn't saying they don't think she's there. It was just like, we don't know one way or the other. But he also said they have no evidence to say she's there, but they don't know. But I'm just wondering, like, based on when you worked with the Mexicans,
Yeah.
is it like a PR thing? Like,
I don't
are you
say
having
nothing
media
to
say,
them.
"Oh, we don't think she's
All right,
here,"
let me
just 'cause
stop
they
this
don't
just a
want,
minute.
Mexico to look
I think
bad
you
if
guys
they're
have all.
That, that's a good question.
Come
I
on,
think
turn it off. I think we've all heard most of it. I'm going like this on the lazy. I call this my lazy format. And the reason is because when I do my normal lives, I sit at my desk right there. There's my computer, there's my stuff, right? And while I'm normally okay, if I have sat there day after day after day, it like gets redundant to me, and I have to be like moving. I don't like to be in a spot for. I mean, that's the longest that I ever sit is when I'm talking to you guys. So that's the difficult part about streaming like that. And then like tonight, I was listening to Mags and Lizzo's live from earlier today, y'all, and there's just not a whole lot coming out of this case right now, and that's what I kind of figured what was going to happen. Brian Enton does get like probably most authentic news people, they get a news release every day. Some kind of email that just tells them if anything news in the case. If not, it says the same thing, that the authorities are working every lead as they come in. So, I check those out every day. We all do every day. And I kind of figured when JLR was talking about everybody leaving earlier today, they were all leaving early. And then yesterday, Brian Enton reported that he noticed a lot of the media was leaving. He wasn't sure if they were leaving for the weekend or if they were just wrapping it up or just leaving for the night. And even he said he was getting worried about that, because once things start slowing down in a case, the media is going to move on to something else that's going to be big in the news. And I guess that's their job. So I can't, okay, sorry. I can't, I mean, I can't fault them for it. That's their job. That's what they're supposed to do. But it's really sad that this case could very well go cold. And I know we shouldn't be talking about a cold case at day 20, or now it's 21. Pardon me, I have to cough. I know, you know, I mean, it took us 40-something days to catch Brian Koberger, and that was pretty damn fast. But having watched so many of these crime stories, you guys, where, I mean, it takes years and years and years to bring someone to justice, and then some of them have never been solved. You just learn really quickly that that it could go cold any day, and then they've done everything they can do pretty much, and they have to wait on a lead or something to come in. So I think because of those of us that just do watch these cases, and we keep our eyes peeled for things that are going on around us, and true crime stories, that we're always on edge that could happen, because I think all of us could name, gosh, a handful that we have followed, and they're still like no closer today than they were day one. And that's a scary, scary thought, especially when you're invested in something so big as this. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate it so much. Will you double tap the screen for me? I know we're doing this a little bit different, but I have nothing really to bring up that is of new. Now, I could go back and bring up some stuff and we can discuss it, but for me, I think I would rather just sit down and have a discussion. And it's much more comfortable in this chair, y'all, than it is in my desk chair. Even though I've got a really nice desk chair, I wheeled that thing out to the garage, y'all, because it's too much cushion. Like, I need a straight back. I like to sit up. I don't want to. I can sit there for a little while, but in a regular, like, office chair, it screws with my back. I don't know anybody else. Hi, Jamie. Jamie says, why does it seem like they're keeping everything hush-hush? Oops, sorry. My puppy is learning new things, and I don't say nothing to him because he's going to be a daddy one day. He's got to learn how to do that. So he's practicing. Good on you. I know, like, I was watching Nancy Grace today, and she was upset because... Sorry, I hope I'm not getting a cold. I'm hoping it's just like allergies from things starting to bloom, because we're getting a little bit warmer. I was watching Nancy Grace, and she was upset that the sheriff actually came out and said that he's not sorry. So Newt is the red one. They're all 3 golden retrievers, you guys. Let me just brag on my dogs a minute. Newt is the red one. He's the oldest. He's 6 years old. This is little girl, the big white one right here. She's an English cream golden retriever. And she is 3 years old, and that's our new little guy. That is Laramie, and he is 4 months old. And they are my world. I am actually sitting in their living room. I call it their living room, because nothing is off limits in here. There's nothing in here that I worry about them tearing up. Not that they tear up anything, because let me just show you a little bit of what goes on behind the scenes at According to Leanie. For those of you that are new, the ones that have been here forever, they know. It may look like to you that I never, ever, ever clean up. That would be wrong. I am constantly doing floors. And this is an everyday battle, but it's also the same everyday battle that I allow my dogs to do. It has been very cold outside, very muddy, very, we've had a lot of snow, and so they don't stay out very long, especially Newt, because for some reason he doesn't hold heat very well. He gets cold very easy. So y'all let them bring in there's wood all over the floor. There's paper. I'll throw them down a piece of paper so they could shred it. I'll get an old cloth or an old sock or something, put a knot in it. Oh, sorry, y'all. I'll put an old knot or something in it, throw it to my pups, and let them shred it. And this goes on all day, every day, until the sun starts shining and they can play outside more. I don't want them to get bored. I've been really blessed that my puppy he's been the best puppy I've had. He doesn't chew my furniture. He doesn't do nothing like that because, well, he's busy chewing on little girl. But she's teaching him stuff, and when he gets too rowdy, Newt will bark at them and make them stop. And then sometimes Anichka will have to nip him because he gets too rough. He becomes Cujo. I don't know what that said about pay some money. Sojo's been in here before, so I don't even know why they're acting an idiot. I didn't see it. That's what's good about the mods here. A lot of times I don't even see the crap that comes through on the screen. The mods get rid of them real quick, and I'm thankful for that. But if they're talking about money and shit, like, I don't know what the money was about, but just so everybody knows, yes, I monetized, but I'm not monetizing any of these streams about Nancy Guthrie. None of them. And I wouldn't do that. I absolutely am not going to make money off of somebody else's tragedy. Whoops, sorry. I absolutely would not try to make money off of somebody else's tragedy like that. I don't need your money. Let me just be very clear on that. Yes, I monetized just because memberships are fun, just because we can make our own emojis. And then, my friends basically are the ones that are membered up to me. And that's how we pay StreamYard, so I don't have to pay to go live. Everybody helps out in that position. But other than that, I'm not here to make money. I'm here to have relationships and have a great time and get my mind off of real life sometimes, and sometimes talk about real life. So that's just who I am. Thanks, Melly, appreciate it. All right. Anyway, so maybe people are just sick of my dogs. You guys, we've been running really, really good numbers, and I appreciate that so much. People just checking on the Nancy Guthrie case, because if nothing else, then people aren't forgetting her name like so many others have been forgotten out there. I love that at the end of Maggie and Lizzo's live, they talk about a missing child, just to get the word out again. Cold cases, things like that. And I really, really appreciate that that's what they're doing now. Hi, Erica, my baby girl, Egypt. Oh, I love that name. Was my whole world, and she passed away 2.5 months ago. Bless you, honey. I'm so sorry. It's terrible. I'm so sorry. That's terrible. I hope that this is not triggering you in any sort of way. It's just, I need a break sometimes away from the desk. And then, so let me do this real quick. I'm going to put everybody on the big screen because it's also easy for me to read the big screen. And listen, all those people that made fun of you and bullied you in school and told you wouldn't amount to anything, go ahead and call them up and tell them, hey, I made it to the big screen. All right, let me do this real quick. Yes, my floor's a mess, you guys, it's a mess, but this is my dog's living room. And believe you me, it gets swept. Damn carpet gets bleached. Oh, it's just, y'all, you don't know. The floor is the bane of my existence. But I created this monster. And a couple times a day, I just sweep it up and throw it into the fireplace. And that's that. Let me put chat up on the big screen. Hold on. Okay. Okay. All right. So there we go. This is the way I like to do it when I'm just being lazy and I just want to have a chat with the chat. Let me turn this down too so we don't hear me twice. So yeah, this is what I like to do. I just like to hang out sometimes and just talk to chat. And that's what we're doing here. And sometimes I'm doing the dishes while we're doing it. And sometimes, I don't know, sometimes I'm doing silly shit like trying to make a fire or making a fire out of coffee creamer. There's nothing off limits here, you guys. Anyways, nothing really is, sorry, I'm standing on this, trying to make sure my dogs don't tip it over. There's nothing really that's come out, and this is the way that I thought it was gonna go. I thought this weekend it was gonna be slow, and then I thought maybe something will come out early next week. But now that Sheriff I don't know is being, you know, people who have worked his position and also work in law enforcement and in the court situations, you know, they're blasting him for saying that it's not out of the realm of possibility that they're looking into more than one perp. And like I was watching Nancy Grace, and she said the reason why she's upset about it is because surely the perps are watching too. So they're sitting there getting information, and they're trying to stay 2 steps ahead of them, right? So Nancy says they're giving too much information. I don't feel like they're giving enough. Jamie says, I just got a new puppy about a month ago. It's a Dalmatian Husky mix. Oh, that's so sweet. Hi, Lele. Good to see you. Thank you for coming in. So when it's just slow, we're just going to watch the pups or do something stupid in the house and just have a discussion. Because for me, having a chat and being able to talk to people who want to come in here and talk about different things and give their opinion and stuff and give me something to chew on. Because y'all, I'm eat, sleep, and drink in this case too. It is nuts. It is just nuts. Hi, Freeway Girl. Good to see you. God must have needed an Egypt. Oh, that is so sweet. And it's true. It's very true. April, okay, you didn't see my first one. I have to send you a message on Discord. April, get in the freaking Discord. Anyways, having a chat and just people to talk to and bounce around ideas and theories. And sometimes when I put my hand up, it's just easier for me to do that if they're being if they're having sex education. It's the only way I know how to put it, y'all. Hi, John. Good to see you. Thank you so much. These are, I have 3. You only see the 2 right now because Newt, my oldest golden retriever, never leaves my side. And he thinks that they are ridiculous. And the only time he really gets involved is when he thinks they're playing too rough, then he'll bark at them. Oh, get down, little girl. He still plays with the oldest white one right there, which is an English cream golden retriever. He still plays with her, but then the puppy starts getting rowdy and tries to jump in, ends up getting hurt. So he's good about, you know, walking away from that so they don't. I got my, yeah, but you know what? I'm an empty nester and my babies are all gone. I got married very young. I had kids very young. My whole life has been about my children. And my baby child is graduating college in 2 months. And I do have a bonus. I have his best friend that lives here with me, and they're moving away. Baby child's already got a job lined up. We're just not sure what state he has to. So here we go. We've got Zoomies. So now Newt's going to get involved and calm him down. I don't know why his Zoomies make Newt crazy. It just does. And the puppy's like, doesn't care. So the puppy is also a, Newt is funny. He's the boss around here. The puppy's also a golden retriever. He's just going to be much lighter than Newt. Newt's more of a dark golden, early, lighter red color. And yes, the living room is a mess because it's their living room. And there's nowhere to, it's just too muddy and yucky to go outside, so they play in here. Maybe if I step away, they'll. Everybody going outside? Hey, y'all going outside? Let's go. Hey. There we go. So this is their mess. This is cleaned up about 4 or 5 times a day. I bleach my carpet constantly. I'm constantly using the wet vac. It's just what we do here. It gives me exercise and it makes my dogs happy. And when my dogs are happy, I'm really happy too. My new being boy, big, yeah, he is the boss. He totally is. That is so hilarious how Newt is being take good charge kind of pup. Oh yeah, Newt is, he's so smart. I'm not saying it because, hi, Miss Barbara. I'm not saying it because he's my dog. But Newt is very, very smart. He, if I tell him go get this or go get that, he'll go get him. If I ask him where the cat is, the cat's name is Wednesday, he'll look right to whichever door that Wednesday's hanging out in. If I tell him to go get the puppy, because sometimes the puppy won't come back in, doesn't want to come back in. See, they're always bringing stuff on the inside of the house. You should see what the yard looks like. It's terrible, y'all. And it's funny because it snowed like 2 feet. And so all of their balls and their toys and their chew toys and stuff like that, the snow finally melted. So they're finding all their toys out there. It's great fun. But Newt will run outside if the puppy won't come in, and he'll run around in a circle around the puppy. And then the puppy just runs back in here with them. So Newt is very, now, if you told Anichka to go do that, our little girl here, she just looks at you like, you go do it. And Cheyenne, my oldest golden retriever, was the same way. She was like, no, I'm not going to get your kids. You will get them. But Newt, listen, they always say that girl dogs love you and boy dogs are in love with you. And I totally believe that. Yeah. 3 new kids. And you know, so we're selling the house. We're going to be moving in the summertime. And I'll be getting another golden then. I just want a pack. I want a pack of dogs. They're my life. And you get great exercise with them. I love being with them. If I'm going out of town and once I get an hour away, y'all, I'm already missing these dogs like nobody's business. And Newt actually cries. So little girl, the one that's over there right now, eating and drinking, she's like everybody's dog, right? She's scared pretty much of everything. It's terrible. She was bred in the garage, and she was raised in the garage. She was never really in the house. And I don't think the people who bred her like really paid attention to their puppies and socialized. And so I've tried with little girl, and she's just so scared of everything. Hopefully, now this puppy is by far the best puppy I've ever gotten. You could tell he was totally socialized with all people. He already had some manners to him. He understood sit, stay, and no. So, I'm just going to scroll this down here a little bit. anyway, so the plan is when we move that I'm gonna get one more. And it'll probably be more golden like Newt. A little bit darker, just depending on how Laramie comes out, what coloring he comes out to be. Because golden retrievers can be anywhere from a white, like, little girl, all the way up to a deep, 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 deep red. And that's the way Cheyenne was. Cheyenne was so red, she almost looked like an Irish setter. Oh, there's Wednesday. Wednesday is the cat. Wednesday the cat absolutely hates the puppy because the puppy plays too hard with him. Like I said, you can tell Newt is intelligent, so if it's a bit messy, it's their place. That's right. And the furniture in here it's theirs. I mean, I got that couch for $40 off of, I'm a big time thrifter, you guys. I got that couch for $40 off of what do you call it? Marketplace. They had a bigger couch. They had a really nice, that I bought brand new when we moved into this house 4 years ago. I bought it and we only had Cheyenne and Newt, and then little girl came along, so there was plenty of room for all three of them. And then Cheyenne passed away almost 2 years ago. Next month will be 2 years that Cheyenne has been gone, and it just took up so much room in here they couldn't run and do the zoomies and stuff like that. So I got rid of that and I bought that off Marketplace. And I just, about once a week, I take the cushions off and I take off the covers and I throw them in the wash. But I mean, I don't, and if somebody comes in here and sits right there, which I wouldn't personally, if I was at somebody's house, you can see that it needs to be washed, but some people have, and then the dog jumps right up there. I'm like, you have to go in the other living room if you don't want the dog sit next to you, or go sit in one of those chairs over there or something, because it's their couch, right? You can't come in and just take over their couch and tell me. One person, you guys, did tell me to ask my dog to get off the couch. I was like, we can ask you to leave. That person never liked me again. Because it's not like I could see if they were sitting down, my dogs just went in there and just jumped all over them and stuff like that. But it's clear to see that this living room belongs to the animals. And and I love animals so much more than I love humans, you guys. I'm not gonna lie. They love me no matter what mood I'm in, and I love animals. Was Wednesday named the cat named after Wednesday? No. I just like the name I'm so dumb, but I really like, for animals, I really like the name Tuesday and Wednesday. And my grandkids, I think they thought of Wednesday from Wednesday Addams. And so when I asked them, I was like, which name do you like better, Tuesday or Wednesday? And they said Wednesday. And I was going to call her Winnie because my co-host, Maggie, her mom's name was Winnie. And I just thought that would be so cute. And I thought I got a little girl cat. Come to find out, I did not get a little girl cat. I didn't even know that was possible, that you could mistake a girl and a boy cat and a girl, well, basically a girl and boy cat. And so it wasn't until I seen the little red rocket, you be sweet, that I realized that cat was a male. But so when I took him to the vet, and the vet was like, no, it just looks like it's been fixed. And no, first he said, it just looks like, no, it's a female. And I was like, no, it's not. I seen the red rocket. And he said, well, it's probably been fixed. I was like, no, it's not, because I got the cat for my daughter. So I know about the cat. And I actually got the cat at 6 weeks so that Newt and Anichka would fall in love with him, and they did. And then he felt around, and his scrotum did not drop, you guys. So I told him, I said, I'm not changing his name. He's a Wednesday. So we call him he, she, we call him every little thing. And he's right. He usually stays in the other. Wednesday. Now, I could explain you guys everything that goes on. Watch, he'll just jump. That's the other living room down there. Well, it's my husband's office slash room. Come here, buddy. Leave him alone. He don't like you. Come on. Anyways, I'll bring you over here. This is what I do, show everybody my house. Wednesday. Hi, Wednesday. Hi, Wednesday. So we've had to start feeding Wednesday on the table, and I haven't fixed this room since my dad came over to dinner last weekend. Wednesday usually, hey, little guy. He can still get through the bars. It's so funny. Get over here, Laramie. Wednesday used to lay out here with Newt and little girl, but since we've had the puppy, Wednesday does not like the puppy at all. Hey, hey, hey. Come on, Laramie. Laramie. Hey, Newt. Hey, Laramie, come on, out. You guys aren't supposed to be in there. Come, come, come. Thank you. All right. Let's go back out here where we're safe. Come on. We'll just leave. Wednesday's probably trying to get outside because Wednesday refuses to use the cat litter box. Doesn't matter if it's 2 feet of snow out there. He wants us to go out there and clear off a little patch of the ground so he can do his business, and don't think we don't do it, because we do. Wednesday looks like Gypsy. He's a sweet cat. He really is. He's a sweet cat. Erica was, okay, I got that. All right. Mine does everything she's not supposed to. You know, one thing I've noticed about this puppy is that, so I've given her a couple of slippers, my old slippers, and listen, there was nothing wrong with them slippers other than I've had them for like 3 years, and I gave it to him thinking that I could, like when it gets cold next year, I could buy me new Uggs and stuff like that and not feel guilty for it because my dog got y'all, that dog's not chewing up the damn slippers or the shoes. He just brings them to me. I'm like, chew up the damn slippers. And Newt and little girl don't chew them because they've been taught not to. They did. But this dog is not chewing anything but like wood and stuff he finds in the yard and paper, and he'll come in here and just shred it in boxes. And so the shoes, I'm wanting them to tear up, y'all, so I could justify getting new ones. They're not. It's still over there underneath their couch. And and listen, some people may hate me for this or whatever, but I've raised a lot of dogs. And I've always trained my dogs not to chew with sriracha sauce. They start chewing, I've got a lot of antiques. And if they start chewing on the legs and stuff like that, I give them a taste of the sriracha sauce, and then I wipe it on the legs. And that has always stopped them. The other thing is golden retrievers, like a lot of dogs, they like to dig. And a little girl, when she first came into the family, her thing was digging the holes in the yard. That wasn't fun, but it wasn't terrible. What was terrible was she was figuring out how to get out of the gate because she was digging holes underneath the fence. So y'all, just got some sriracha sauce. I gave her a taste of it. She didn't like it. I walked around the perimeter of the gate and I poured sriracha sauce the whole perimeter of the gate. She never dug another hole or tried to get out. Just buy new ones. But they're expensive and I feel guilty. So I thought if they tore them up, then I'd be like, well, I have to, y'all, because in the winter, that's all I wear. I have to have, Uggs are just the warmest to me. I've tried them all. I've tried the cheap ones. I've tried the not cheap ones. I've tried them all. And if my feet get cold, I stay cold. That's not cool. So, but I keep them for a really, really long time, like 4 and 5 years, but they are well worn by the time. So I thought when the new puppy came, all puppies love shoes. And no, he just wants to carry them around in his mouth, that's it. And then little girl and Newt don't even touch them. Hi, baby. Hi. You guys can definitely tell these dogs are on my timeline. Whose dogs are up playing at 4 o'clock in the morning? I mean, seriously playing. And they've been going for about 2 hours, so it's close to time for the little guy to start getting sleepy and take a nap, and then the older ones will lay down. Hi, Starboy. Good to see you. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate that. Oh, excuse you. I hope you're well. I hope you're doing good. What is I don't know what you guys have behind your name, but you and Wild Angel both have that sign behind your name. Oh, I see it up there. It shows it on, it's weird because on my phone, it won't show the sign next to, oh, it doesn't even show it on the TV at all. It doesn't, yeah, it does. Okay, I see it. I see it. It's just weird. Thank you so much. A proper cooey, everyone. Hope you all have had a good day, night, wherever you are. Lulu, it's so good to see you. This is just, listen, there's nothing really to report on the Nancy Guthrie case, and I don't feel like sitting in that chair and pulling more stuff up. So we're just doing this, watching the dogs. I figure we talk for a little bit so I could touch base with everybody, and then I'll get the hell off here and leave you guys alone. I did tell Liz and Mag, I think they're gonna go live again today, but I think, I told Maggie, I hope she tells Lizzo, they need to take a day off. They've been going for almost, if not almost 3 weeks, every day live. And I've taken one day off, and I needed it so bad because my house, I'm used to cleaning all the time. It's what I do. It's what I love to do, organizing, cleaning, stuff like that. But since this case, y'all, my whole life has gone to shit, to tell you the truth. Because I'm eat, sleep, and drinking this, just like you guys. It's so confusing and so terrible and so... It's just encompassing completely. So all the new people that have subbed up, probably true crimers, are probably like, I didn't sub up for this Leanie. Nobody cares. So I'm sorry about that, but some nights we just gotta, I just gotta break away from it. I mean, when you do 5 and 6 hour lives every day, it becomes, it's tough. It's tough. Anyways, I too hope you guys, let's go out and smoke together. If chat doesn't want to talk that much, then I might just close this one down, move along. But I'm gonna go sit in the garage and smoke. I wonder how long it will take to look into Ancestry shop. I don't know. Jamie, you got a subscription earlier? Good on you, girlfriend. I think it takes longer for the Ancestry than it does like the regular CODIS. Checking in but not eating, drinking it for me, just praying for Nancy. That's right. Makes me sad. I'm trying to have some good vibe about it. I'm trying to think how long it took to, you know, like the Brian Koberger thing, and that was across many states, and they still got him. I'm trying to think positive like that, but I'm so scared that because there's a border right there, that scares me. I think they can actually find the perps if if they stayed in the United States, I think they really could, because we've just got too much technology not to figure out exactly what's going on in those videos. And y'all know they got more video than they're showing us. So, and then on top of that, once the money gets high enough, you guys, I just don't think it's high enough right now. I don't. We checked last night, it was $225,000. That's not enough money. You guys can't even buy a house for that. They got to drop $1 million. You're okay. You people got that money. Drop $1 million, and someone's going to sing like a canary, because that's serious money to everyday Americans like you and me. That's big money. Erica says this case has literally rocked the U.S. Amen. I mean, I started dreaming about it last night. And I don't like dreaming about YouTube. I don't, but I mean, it's where I spend my time, you know? So there are people on YouTube that I've actually dreamed about. It's really disturbing. Y'all, they're probably halfway there to knowing, and literally can't let us know, because then it's going to tip off the people. And so, yeah, I'm hopeful that hi, Sarah. I'm hopeful that's what it is. I'm hopeful. Well, they definitely know way more than they've told us about. They know way more. And I'm all for keeping things under the vest, but when you know you've got these things floating around like nuts, but maybe they haven't released more of the video and trying to correct a lot of the stretched stories, because they're so close to the border. And if the perps think that they are even, you know, modestly close to catching them, they'll run over the border. I mean, if I was a perp, that's what I'd do. You saw Brian Enton the other day. He just walked his ass right on in, y'all, without a passport. Let's go hang out there for a little bit. Yeah, especially if you're of Hispanic descent. Let me see what Lulu said. How terrible someone could be sitting there waiting for the money to rise before revealing a family of the whereabouts of a beloved mom and nan. This world can suck sometimes. That's right, but that's the world we live in. We know that not every family is on the up and up, or even close. Wild Angel says they always do, and obviously, you know, it's best for us to wait and kind of hear it when it's the right time, but I have a feeling that something is coming. God, I hope so. I hope so, because I feel like I'm spinning wheels. Hi, owls. Is that a cream golden and a puppy? I have one. Sherman. Sherman's a great name for a dog. Yes, I have 3 golden retrievers. That's a standard. That's Newt. He's the oldest, 6 years old. This is little girl. She is a true English cream, and she's 3. And then we have Laramie. He is 4 months. The channel lovingly calls him Larry. And he is actually not an English cream. He's just going to be a very, very light golden. And they're my world. They are my world. Thank you so much, Ralph. Good to see you guys. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate it so much. This is just a different way that I'm filming tonight, you guys, or I'm doing my live tonight, because I feel lazy and there's just not a lot to report on, and I just want to chat. I just want to chat with you guys. She is in the files. Hi, Meow Meow. Oh, Maggie. I'm going to tell Maggie you came in to chat. We were talking about you one day because I was listening to her live, and I heard you and her fussing at each other, and I thought it was a riot. So I can't wait to tell her that you were in my chat. Lulu says, I do think one that was arrested was released so that they could surveil and wait for him to fuck up. I agree with that completely. Just because they release these people, you guys, it doesn't mean that they're not guilty. You have a flock of beautiful pups. Thank you so much. They are my world. I have 5 kids. 4 of them are married, so I have 4 extra kids. And then I have a bonus child as of right now, still living in my home that I did not birth, but he's my kid. And then I have 10 grandkids. And I'm an empty nester, and these dogs, especially that one, are my world. Not that I don't love all of them, but Newt there's something special about Newt is very special. He's very, very special. Maggie does love you. You were giving her hell, and I was laughing at both of you so much. I loved it. I was like, I got to talk to Meow Meow. I use the exact same dog beds. My dog, the fox fur round dog beds. I even have a few that have like shape of, yeah. Well, I bought that 3 years ago just for Newt and little girl when she was a pup. And they've got it all shoved underneath the TV thing, the cabinet there, but it's really huge. Actually, all 3 of them do lay on there together, and I just don't keep them out in the summer because they would get too hot. So when the spring comes, I just take all of the fluffing and stuff out of it. I wash it and I put it up for the winter, and they get so excited when it gets pulled out and they get their bed back. Ralph says, I sadly lost my black Labrador 3 weeks ago. Damn cancer. I'm so sorry, Ralph. It's tough. This community is a big animal lover. We love cats and dogs and just everything. We all have animals. There's so many animals on our channel. And unfortunately, including me, have lost a pet since we've all been together. We've gained new pets. We've lost parents. We've gained grandbabies. We've watched some divorces. We've watched some get married. We're living life together over here, y'all. And death is a part of that life, and I absolutely hate it. I hate. In fact, I was online. I was running a live not 10 minutes before my Cheyenne passed away right here in the living room. I heard today that there's a couple, I heard today that a couple found a bloody glove and called the sheriff's department, and the sheriff's department didn't want the gloves, so they called 911. What? Where was the glove found? I can kind of understand because they've got so many gloves everywhere, but you have to collect them. You have to, sorry, it's your job. You gotta collect them. Maybe learn to spell correctly when you troll dickwad. JLR found some too and cops didn't come. Yeah. Maybe that one glove. What if it is that one glove? That's what I would be worried about. I'd be all kind of overwhelmed by the whole thing. Like, I got to go get that glove. I got to go get that. I wouldn't be able to sleep without the gloves. More animals than humans here as well. I can spell, homie. It means good to see you, Lou. Go take your meds, bruh. Oh, you're going to piss off Lulu? She's going to come at you. I don't think she was talking about you, though. Erica, yeah, JLR was the one that was saying something about the couple that found the bloody glove. Weird. Al said sheriff doesn't care because he knows what's gone on here. I believe the sheriff knows. I do. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Shag says, that's what I heard as well. And it was a reporter that reported it from Tucson somewhere. I just think they got to get every glove. But y'all, somebody told me last night that the mat was finally collected from outside the front door. No, it wasn't. It's still there. I'm obsessed with the damn mat, you guys. I'm totally obsessed with that mat. The perp walked all over the damn mat and it's still sitting there. I don't understand it. I'll never understand it. So imagine a glove being out in the desert and not being collected. Y'all be fussing. Oh, it'd be terrible. It'd be terrible. But I think the mat, not collecting the mat when you know the perpetrator walked all over the mat is even more foolish. Even more, because there could be some trace evidence on it. Uh-oh. Lulu and Mel Mel, y'all gonna fuss? Hi, Misty. Did any of the gloves have blood? That's what they're talking about in chat right now. They're saying that, I think it was today, that a couple found a bloody glove and the police didn't go out to get it. I'll have to research that. That's terrible. I think you got to get them. You got to get them. It could just be that one, just the one. One. Y'all, I got to go into the garage. You're just going to come with me. It's trashed out there. I understand. Look, the whole damn house is trashed, y'all, just to let you guys know. But that's because this case is just kicking my ass and keeping me up at night. And listen, I don't have nothing to do with this garage. I don't want to hear how messy it is. I don't want to hear nothing else, all right? I cleaned the garage one time and got in trouble for it. Never happening again. You try to organize shit in a man's garage, oh my God, you become the worst person in the world. Try to do something nice for people. Don't touch the garage. Lord of mercy. You're right, but it's contaminated now because they all walked on it. And I think even the dog peed on it. I wouldn't be surprised. I did hear something pretty smart today, though. How about this? How about this? So remember when people were saying, and we've all questioned it here as well. Remember when they were saying, like, did Nancy open the door to him? Well, if you got an intruder at your doorstep, first of all, I don't open the door to any damn body. I wait for them to walk away. I mean, even if they got a package in their hand, drop it off and keep walking, Big Daddy. No. I watch way too much crime to be opening my door. So I just don't see Nancy opening the front door up with the guy in a ski mask at the door. I mean, she's got 2 windows on each side of the door, so she would be able to look out, right? So I just don't see Nancy. And on top of that, we know that we think we know that the reason why there was a spike in her, recorded by her pacemaker at around the 2 o'clock mark, was because she actually saw a perp at that time. And then we also know by the time frame that at the time that we're seeing the perps on the porch was like 15 minutes prior to that or something. So I think we can throw out the theory that Nancy actually let somebody in, unless she let him in the back door. If she let him in the back door, I don't understand. I would think that she would have had to known the person in the middle of the night to let in the back door. I'd be calling, 911 or my kids or someone, or getting my pew out and asking them if they still want to come in before I open the door, It's all gaslighting, but she disappeared when the EP files dropped with her name. Listen, a lot of people believe that. And maybe it's worth looking into. But you guys, I am not a conspiracy channel. Do I think some things have a lot of conspiracy to them? I'm saying the word wrong. I'm sorry. Conspiracy to them, yeah. Do I think our government puts out things so that we'll look that way instead of this way where we should be looking so that they think they're hiding stuff from us? Yes. But I don't think everything is a conspiracy theory. I just don't think, I think some things, probably most things, are just what it is. That's why I don't think the cartel's involved. I don't think this is a big time crime. I think it has to do with the family, specifically the son-in-law. And I think these are his homies that we're seeing on the video. I really do. And I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I don't want to see any family despise someone in their family this much. In fact, I'd like to be wrong about my whole theory. And if I am, I will gladly come on here and tell you guys, well, I fucked that up, and don't hire me to be your next sheriff. Well, if they were trying to find it on their knowing, it could be that would be the reason to leave it. What, the mat? Don't touch a man's garage. Oh, I learned the hard way, but you don't know how beautiful it was when I was done. There was no grease to be found in the garage. Not on one tool, and he's got like 50 different toolboxes, including the floor ones. It took me all day from the time he left the house to the time he came home after dark. And the boys warned me. They're like, Mom, don't touch it. Don't touch it. And I talked him into coming and help me clean, getting all the heavy stuff out of the garage, because I believe in just taking everything out, sweeping it all down, put it in one by one, make it look pretty. Oh my God, it was terrible. It was terrible. But listen, every wrench had its own drawer. The only thing I didn't go through was like all of the little drawers of different nails and different screws and different this and nuts and bolts and washers. I was not going to figure that out. There was no time to do that anyways, but there is a limit to my madness, and that was it right there. But I'm telling you, I even wiped out all of the drawers. There was no more grease in them. There was no more. Everything had a place. Like, oh, it was just, I was so proud of it. I could almost swear it smelled good too, but I wasn't sure. I think I was kidding myself. And then he drives up. I'm standing in the garage, all excited to show him. And he just sits in the car and stares at me for, it felt like forever. It was probably just like 2 or 3 minutes. And he's never really yelled at me, to tell you the truth, not in all these years, but I can see his mad face. I know his mad face. And I was like, babe, check it out. I was so proud. Oh my God, I was so proud. I can't even explain to y'all how proud I was. I was like, look, and I was showing, he wasn't saying a word, which is very much like, he was just very quiet. And he's walking around, but he had his mad face on. He's walking around, he's looking, and he's shaking his head no. And then yes, and then no, and then yes. And then he says, have you ever asked me to hang something on the wall, or if you could borrow a hammer, or if I had a screw that would fit this, or anything? Have you ever asked me? And I haven't been able to find it in my garage. And I was like, well, no. And he said, now, if you ask me for something, I won't be able to find anything in this garage for at least 6 months. And I was like, this place was trashed. I think you should be thanking me. Your tools are clean. And y'all, he was so upset. I don't think I've ever seen him so upset at me. He said, I'll tell you what. He said, I don't mess around in the house. If I load a dishwasher, I know you're going to go reload it. It's just the way our relationship is. He said, so I'm asking you right now, after all these years of knowing me, please do not help me in the garage ever again. I appreciate what you did. I was like, fuck. I acted like I guess I was kind of shitty because I felt unappreciated at the time. But he's right. If he went into somewhere and tried to rearrange my shit, I'd be like, who the hell do you think you are? You don't come in here doing that. So I get it. And then I talked to my dad about it, and he stuck up for him. So, they may have all the evidence they need, so not interested in any more. Bad if it, oh, well, that's a good thought. That's a good thought. Okay, let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they have already got the evidence. Maybe they have got enough DNA. They're just waiting for genealogy to match it up. So I'm gonna throw the benefit of the doubt out there about not collecting all the gloves, just because it's a great thought, and they have to be smarter than I am about this, because they're trained. But I don't know how long I can keep the benefit of the doubt going without talking shit again. Bad if it gets to court and not enough evidence to convict. Cops are being quite slack in this case. I agree. Listen, I'll say it again. The first hurdle is going to be getting the perpetrator, right? Identifying them, getting them behind bars. The biggest hurdle in this whole crime thing is getting a conviction, because they have screwed up the crime scene so bad. I wonder if they tested the blood that was all around the mat. I mean, we can clearly, surely they didn't test every dot, unless they just, I mean, it's, Erica, I got nothing. I don't even know what to say about these police officers. I really don't. No, they finally got them, but the sheriff's acting like it doesn't mean anything. Thank you, Shag. Misty High says, wow, that's crazy. Plus, it's got to be something simple that everyone is missing. How about the mat in the front door? I'm obsessed. God, I need to quit saying that. Y'all are just going to like jump in here and slap me for it. She knew her abductors. I think in the end she did. But wouldn't it be sad that she knew her abductors and for some reason she's the one bleeding? And if she was kind to those people and here they just came in and did her dirty like that, and I would rather her not have known the abductors. That's just me, because that would break my heart. Anybody that I have been kind to and then come in and do that to me, it's the ultimate betrayal. Erica, geez, you'd hope so, but they are proving to be quite inept in this case. Plus not at 2 a.m. Erica says, yeah, you don't try to organize man stuff without getting in trouble. Oh, it was terrible. I only did it once, won't ever do it again. But it took me, I mean, we were already together, you guys, for like 15 years when I did that. I just thought I thought I was doing something good, but never again. Everyone is saying they don't believe it was a kidnapping for ransom, but what other reason could there be? She seems to be a lovely old lady, sure no enemies. Well, I mean, there's a bunch of different theories on that. One is that her line of work. Another one is the Epstein files. Another one is my theory behind it is that it wasn't about a ransom or a kidnapping at all. It was about a murder and an inheritance. So she definitely knew them. That breaks my heart. I didn't even think about that, you guys, but that breaks my heart to think about. April says she was well mentally. Sky Blue Hello says, the house, what house are we looking at? Mine, my filthy house. I'm sorry, but I needed a break from the computer. I just needed a break. And so when I'm being lazy and I'm doing lazy lives, this is how we get them. Everybody comes into Leanie's house and we all just kind of sit around. Meet my gun, want to still come in. You damn right. You could be right. It could all be about money only. I firm believer, until the police pull me off that fence, I'm gonna sit that fence until someone proves me wrong. Did the sister-in-law, you mean the brother-in-law? The sisters are, Savannah and Annie are sisters. Do you mean, did sister-in-law have an axe to grind with her? I saw an interview with a man who said he thought it was Savannah coming home and announcing, oh, I heard that too. Coming home and announcing where her mom was and may have made people covet her wealth. Listen, they lived there her whole life practically. Savannah was raised in the house that she was kidnapped from. I think that she was pretty well known by the community. other than maybe newer people that have moved in the last couple years, and maybe it did raise awareness, and who knows, but I'm just, until I see different or feel different or something leads me a different path, I think this is about inheritance, and I think the mastermind behind it is the son-in-law. Oh, that's what SIL means, son-in-law, not sister-in-law. Oh, slap me. Y'all, I'm tired. I'm off my game tonight. I'm so sorry. But I think the son-in-law is the mastermind behind it. I don't think he's the one on the video, though. I think those are his homies. Meow, meow. The doors need greased and the tools need greased, too. I know, I know. I know, I've learned so much. Is this the only chat? Yes. So when I live stream like this, this is the only one. That's another reason was I was like, let me give the mods a break for a little while so they're not running back and forth and trying to keep up. Let's just do it this way. And I feel just so lazy. Meow Meow Lou, I think her streams duplicate. It's weird. Well, sometimes Meow Meow, what's going on is we're streaming on on both YouTube platforms. So regular YouTube and then YouTube vertical is what we're streaming on. And we do that because it reaches more people that maybe want to come in and talk about the case in a different way, because I don't care what we talk about. You can come in and give the most outlandish thing. If you tell me an alien came and abducted her, I mean, I'm going to roll my eyes back here and then I'm going to say, oh my God, but you're welcome to that opinion, right? And I try to interact with chat, and so does Maggie when she runs lives for me. And not a lot of channels do that anymore because they're so big and they have panels and stuff like that. I like having panels and things like that too. But while we're still a relatively small channel, I love just chatting with people. It's my jam. It's my thing, about anything. So it's a way of that. But on the other side, when we duel like that, I could sit at the computer. Maggie can pull up things on the computer that y'all could see. So it's a whole different kind of streaming. But when I'm feeling lazy and my back's tired of sitting at the computer, or I just want to hang out kind of with my dogs and in my house and be more personal with you guys, like have, you know, I don't want to bring anything up. I just want to have discussions like this. Then I stream like this. My garage is a heap. I call it the gay garage, you guys. I think it's so gay. Hi, Diamond. Is this the right chat? I don't like being separated. When I'm live like this and I'm not sitting in front of the computer and I'm showing my house, there will always only be one chat. I very much appreciate the difference in the views. Now I behave mostly. I think it's hit or miss with me. If you piss me off, I'm not going to behave. And then I can be very sarcastic and facetious and things like that. You'll get to know my personality. And hopefully, some people say they get to know my personality and then they get shitty with me and then they hate my personality or they hate it to begin with. And it's a whole thing, right? I can't be for everybody. Can't be everybody's cup of tea. If I'm not your cup of tea, throw a little bit of liquor in it. I get fucking funnier if you're drunk. I'm not kidding. Seriously, it's kind of like, being at the bar and ugly bunch of women walk in, and the more you're drinking, the better they're looking at the end of the night. So it's the same thing here, you guys. Same concept. Just go with it. Good morning, John. Good to see you. Thank you for coming in. It's 4:30 for me. You woke up too early. It is also 4:30 here. I'm in Indiana. I went back and looked. It's still dark outside. Yeah, it is dark here too. I think son-in-law's friends. Me too. Me too. Hi, little guy. Hi, little guy. Hi, John Homer. He says they do know who it is. They're looking for them, but just haven't found them yet. I kind of agree with that. I think so too. Either that or they're keeping some really, really tight surveillance on them. I mean, it's not like, unless they've got full proof evidence that they could bring him in and arrest him right away on the spot. I think they just need maybe just a little bit more so that they can detain him for questioning, and then by the end of that questioning, they're being arrested. Yo, I love me some questioning, don't you guys? I love watching those, what do you call them? What do you call those police, where they're interviewing them in the room? It's a word, and I can't think because I'm tired. But y'all know what I'm talking about. I love the police interviews. I love watching those. Especially the bitches that start crying in there and they give up all their shit. I'm like, oh, you're weak. You're weak. Dot says a bunch of people are talking about children, a book Savannah wrote all of a sudden. We were talking about that. I think I'm going to try to order the audio because I know it's coming up a lot, and I know that somehow there's a scenario of a kidnapping in the book. And I think if I read the book, I don't know, we don't know Savannah Guthrie. We know the personality on TV. I think if you read somebody's book, you might get to know more of their personality, more of their home life, more of the things that they believe and they don't believe. And maybe you could glean something from it. I don't know. But I'm damn sure not going to sit down and read it. I don't sit down and read nothing anymore. I can't sit down that long, but I'm thinking about the whole audio thing. I'm thinking about it. Maybe one of us should buy it and then pass it, and then just keep passing it around so we don't have to, or everybody just go in and buy one real quick. And then even if I did an audio thing on here for us reading it, they may have enough DNA, but this was a bloody glove. Listen, I still think they should be picking up everything. I mean, I just do. I just do. Anything new in the case? Mikey Mike, so good to see you. Not really, other than it's being said now that there was a pair of gloves found by a couple, I don't know how far away from Nancy's house, that had blood on them, and the police did not come and get them. And I think that's about it. I think there hasn't been anything new for a couple of days, other than I think the sheriff finally came out full-fledged and said in an interview with somebody that it's not out of the realm of possibility, those are my words, for it to be. In other words, he believes it very well could be two perpetrators. I believe there's two or more. Inherence is a good motive. Mikey says, is that a pallet stove? No, honey, that's my, I wish it was a pallet stove. How much I would love that. That's my laundry room. It's a fucking mess. I'm in the garage. I haven't even lit the damn cigarette yet, you guys. I'm still sitting here. Let me light the cigarette and shut the hell up a minute. Y'all hear a little girl out there barking. I'm sure the neighbors love that. Like I said the other night, if somebody's showing up at my door at 2 in the morning and I didn't know him, my blood pressure would spike too. Yeah, I think I mean, I hate that she had to have a pacemaker, but at the same time, thank God for modern medicine like that. It gives us a pretty clean timeline, I think. I think they're on it, honestly. Thank you so much, Michael, for coming in. I appreciate it. You guys do me a favor, double tap the screen for me. We've got 42 in chat and only 27. Would you guys do me a favor? Just double tap your screen. Magic happens the second you do it. I swanee. I promise you. The minute you double tap the screen, something magical is going to happen. It's going to be great. See, one person just did it. Didn't magic happen? Wasn't that awesome? Mikey says, I always thought it was tomato, Tabasco hot sauce. He was the last one to see her. I think the video is fake. Really? I've never heard that. You think the video's fake? Wow. I think the mastermind is Tomato. I think the video is real, and I think it is his homies. April says, wouldn't they get inheritance faster by leaving the body there, though? Yeah. But you also take the risk of, to me, the way it was done is buying them more time. Not only buying them more time, but also being able to put things out like a ransom and things like that that will take the police eyes in a different direction so that they could be over here doing the deed. You know what I mean? I mean, we don't know for sure what kind of jewelry Nancy had in that house. They very well could have taken some jewelry or cash. I don't know. We think that maybe there was a safe that was cracked. What was in the safe? Of course, she would have a safe. I mean, she's got money. Unless she's got a safe deposit box or something like that. But a lot of older people have safes in their home. So who's to say that they didn't get enough out of the home to tide them over? I just think that it was all a part of the plan to take her out of the home so that they could do this ransom thing that puts the police onto a different smell, so that, because I just think that she was taken across the border and is in the desert. That's what I think. As an ex-Army MP, thank you so much for your service. The way that was handled was like a routine domestic case, not a kidnapping. She knew her assailants. They tromped all over that place, no gloves. She owned that house forever and put an addition on it. Amen. You're saying everything that I've said, like you're reading my mind, yes. Son-in-law and his friends, absolutely, John. Yep, I agree too. Mikey says, I don't think we will ever know the real reason. I think someone's gonna sing. I think once the money gets high enough, look, if it is family member, and I hope I'm wrong about everything that I've ever said about this case as far as a motive and who did it and how it was done. I do. I hope I'm completely wrong and off base about everything, because it's sad to think someone's own family could do this to them. But if family did do it, it has to do with inheritance. That's, I mean, what else? What else would there be? It has to be money, one way or the other. I mean, and it's the perfect place to do it. I'm not lighting another cigarette, guys. It just keeps going out because I'm talking too much. It's really the perfect place to be this close to the border and to do something like this, whether you were going to carry a body over the border or not. If you have secured the body in a place that's going to be hard to find, then of course the police are going to look, hey, I wonder if she was taken over the border. I mean, seriously, that part of it was pretty brilliant, I think. Even though I think these guys are just a bag of rocks. I think they're dumb as shit. I think if a different police department had a hold of this, or if this sheriff had turned it over to the FBI, I think they would prove just how dumb these dumb fuckers are and how low budget they are. You know what I mean? This is not high crime. This is not, nobody goes there and realizes, holy fuck, I think that's a camera. Oh shit, I don't have, let me go over here and grab some flowers. I can cover up the camera. People that do crimes like this and are serious with it and have done it before and are paid hires or whatever, they got tape. They know that there's cameras everywhere, just about on everything, and they're ready for them. They're ready to walk around, and they damn sure wouldn't be on camera as long as that dude was. I'll tell you that right now. I think it's got to do with Savannah and the Epstein files. A lot of people think that. And listen, I'm not saying that that's not what went down and what's not went down. I only have my own theory. And I appreciate y'all bringing me in other things to think about. Son-in-law and his band members. Mikey, that's who I think it is, yes. I have the same tub. That's not a tub. Mikey. Holly, hello. That's not a tub, honey. I don't know what. Oh, this one. It's got the dog food in it. Y'all got 3 dogs. It's got the dog food in it. What's YouTube vertical? So YouTube vertical is just when you like when you're on YouTube and you just go live like from your phone and it's up and down. So if you come to one of my other lives, then you will probably see two different lives. Okay, one of them will be up and down like this, and then one will be across the screen like this, and you could actually see the graphics and stuff more better. It's just two different ways to stream. If you're doing a vertical, YouTube vertical, it actually goes out to more people in the algorithm. Whereas if you do like a StreamYard using a streaming service, it doesn't put it out there as far. Usually only people that are gonna really see that you're live are people who are scrolling through the lives or people that are subbed up to you. I hope that makes sense. Hi, Lisa. Lisa says, I believe it was only a robbery gone wrong. I think someone saw her leave and thought she wasn't home. Once they got in and saw her, it all went left as she could identify them. Just my opinion, and you're welcome to that. But I have a question for you when thinking about that, because a lot of people do think that it is a robbery gone wrong. My question to that is, why would he have a backpack full of stuff, and what was he going to take everything out of the house in? If you're carrying a backpack full, where are you going to put your goods that you're stealing? Unless the guy at the back door, because I believe there's more than one person there, they're bringing in shit, through the back door to rob the place. But that's my only question about that. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you for coming. Mikey says, I think this is going on because there's something seriously else going on, and this is distracting everybody. Well, we do know that the government does that, so we can't put it past them, but I do believe this one is real. Shag says, I believe that this is a local person along with the son-in-law. Shag, I'm right with you, honey. I'm with Mike on the vertical. I hope you guys understood that, you guys, what I said. Let me know if you need me to show you anywhere else, anything else, or try to explain it a little bit better. That's really the only way I know to explain it, though. All right, got to go help the bloody man. Be back soon. Love you, Lou. Was there a cleaner? There had to have been. Listen, she was 84 years old. Houses get dirty, even if you don't have animals, even if you're the only one that lives there. They get dusty, they get dirty. Your bedding needs changed, your clothing needs washed. They've got money. Why? I mean, y'all, I'd be having someone come in twice a day to clean my floors for my dogs if I could afford that, but I can't even afford them to come in once a month, so Blondie does it all herself. I think there had to be a cleaner. Surely there had to be. Meow meow, no one is gonna tell us. I hope I told you guys. I'm behind in chat. It's 9:38 in the morning in England. Thank you for coming in, John. It's always good to see you here. So the phone is in landscape or computer. So meow meow, on your computer or your phone, you can do. On your phone, you can only do a vertical live. That's it. It doesn't go into landscape at all. On the computer, you could do, or on a laptop, or actually, if you're using you have to use a streaming device. So like StreamYard or OBS or, one of the streaming devices. You can do landscape, which is the sideways one, right? And vertical at the same time. So whenever you see that on our channel, that we've got 2 lives going, it's because we're streaming on both of those. We're streaming on the regular YouTube and the vertical and the YouTube verticals. It's a way to get out to more people using the vertical. So interrogation, thank you. That's the word I was looking for. So, but also if you're using a streaming device as well, you don't have to use both of them either. You could only use one or the other, either landscape or vertical as well. I know it's crazy, but YouTube just rolled this out a couple months ago, you guys. We're struggling with it. Most creators that I talk to are struggling with it because when it first rolled out, the creator could see both chats. It would scroll both chats down for us so we could talk to everybody in both chats. Now, you can't see, the creators can't see at least one of the chats, and YouTube is hiding a lot of comments. Like even me, if I'm playing something live, like say we're watching Nancy Grace, and I'll be chatting in chat with you guys, but most of what I put in there won't even go through. It blocks it. So I think YouTube is trying to figure this out. There's a lot of kinks in it still, and so we're just doing the best we can. But I really do like doing these types of lives, just where it's more relaxed and I'm only talking to chat. I like doing these more so than anything, because I just want to talk to chat. Where is it 9:38 in the morning? That's over in the UK. Yeah, it sounds like she was telling the story of the kidnapping gang. Yes, yes, yes. I probably should. All right, let me try to get caught up in chat. I gotta get little girl in here. Let me smoke the cigarettes and go get little girl. Still the same damn cigarette, you guys. I talk too much and it just goes out. Just don't want you guys thinking I'm sitting here chain smoking, because I do not chain smoke. Unless I'm talking to Maggie. It's so good to see you all here. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Will you do me a favor? Double tap your screen. I didn't realize how far back in I was in chat. So sorry, you guys. I'm so sorry. The family drives me crazy. Hi, Patrick. Good to see you. Thank you for coming in. The family is making it look even more weird, if you ask me. I've never known any supposed kidnapping where the family's not out in front of that camera almost every day begging for their person to come back. Not putting it on social media once a week. They're in front of cameras. Something's up, y'all. Something's up. They're just creeping me out a little bit every day, a little bit more, just creeping me out. It's because they did it. Oh God, little girl's gonna give me a ticket. The family is scripted, blank, and robotic. I agree 100%. And listen, I know it must be hard to talk on camera. I don't get on cam that much and talk on here. I have and I do, but I've made a promise to my boys that I wouldn't until baby Chow is out of college. It was a whole thing in the family. And I made a promise, so I've tried to keep those. I gotta go out here and get this little girl, y'all. You hear her acting like she's grown out here? Y'all don't look at my back porch, okay? It's a freaking mess. We did burn up most of the wood. Little girl, come here. Little girl. Go get her, New. She coming? Little girl, get in there. Neighbors are gonna kill us. Go in there. Go in that house. I have to stand out here and finish smoking. This whole case is odd, completely odd. Stop smoking cigarettes. I'm working on it. Cigarettes are amazing. Pipe down. Literally. I did quit smoking, you guys. I quit smoking for 7 years. That's a whole nother story. I smoked cigs for over 30 years and changed to vaping and finally quit. It's been 6 years since I've had a cigarette. I can't stand the smell now. I don't know how anyone can put up with it. I know. When I quit for 7 years, I was never bothered too much about anybody smoking, and I think it's because, well, I think it's because I grew up with it, right? I mean, my parents both smoked. So it didn't bother me to be around people that were smoking, but something really disturbing happened in my house, I mean, in my family, and I went straight away and picked up a pack of cigarettes. Or out searching for her as well. That's right. That's right. What's happening? What is happening? And what is it that we're hearing now? We are hearing, we just heard it last night, that the family has actually reached out to a nonprofit organization in Mexico, a woman's group that is in search of missing people in their community or in their state or whatever they call that area, that the family is actually reaching out to them. What is happening? I understand they're nonprofit, but I'm going to tell you what. Somebody's going to make some money somewhere if you're going to go into Mexico. And I think that our government knows that their government is going to want some money I mean, it's some big money, not little money, big money, to investigate this case on their side of the border. But why would you, here's my question. I would do anything I could do too, right? We all would. But wouldn't you start in your own country? I mean, they don't even have searchers. Like, I'd be lining everybody up. Let's go. You know what I mean? At least for a couple of days, that they didn't do that. They brought out dogs, yes, but how far did the dogs go? The police did a search, but when have you ever heard about a community that won't come out and do a search? When somebody goes missing in communities, the community comes out because they care. It's their community. It's their people. Come on, little girl. And because with Savannah, oh, you're already here and I'm fussing at you. Nunu. Yes, this is my dog's living room, you guys. It's totally trashed. We clean this about 3 or 4 times a day, and they bring in stuff, they chew it up. It's cold outside. They don't play outside much. So in the winter, that's the way my living room looks. And I can promise you, if you talk to the OGs around here, they'll tell you I keep a pretty clean house. But this is the dog's area. This is where we're at. And they let me be in here with them. Right, guys? Right? Anyways, I've got y'all on the big screen. Everybody say hi. Unless you know where she is. Good thinking, Michelle. I only had 4 cig butts today. Good for you, Dot. Was that on purpose or sounds like didn't have any smokes? I've been smoking for 45 years, ain't stopping now. Listen, when my father-in-law passed, he had quit smoking. He had quit smoking for a couple years. And when he was dying, I was like, look, I'm going out to smoke. You want to go? He's like, I don't want a cigarette. I was like, are you sure? I mean, you know. Hi, Sab. Good to see you, love bug. I just really believe that they're all involved in it. A lot of people do. A lot of people do. I want to not believe that Savannah's involved, and I don't think she is. But, you know, everybody's talking about the book, and is it a pre-thought? Is it a... Listen, we've watched a lot of people that we look up to, you know, people on TV, people in the music industry, people in the movies, you know, all these different heroes, a Prince over in the UK, and we find out they're really shitty people. So who knows? You can't trust anybody. You just can't trust anybody anymore. I was supposed to go to the store today, but didn't feel well, so I didn't have any. I'm sorry, honey. I believe Savannah is involved too, Michelle says. Some people really do believe that. think my husband actually believes that. But he was also the one telling me 10 years ago that the guy formerly known as Prince Andrew was a pig, and he was hanging out with Epstein. I was like, just stop. I don't even know who Epstein is, and I don't want to know. Who is writing the script? Good question. Good question. The sickening people. Yep, that's right. That's right. Everybody's calming down, y'all. Everybody's about ready to go to bed. Little Laramie has a doctor's appointment at 1 o'clock today to get another shot and get his weight checked and all that. So he's got 2 more to go, and then I can start taking him. I always worry about taking my pups out places until they're fully vaccinated. Just because parvo, my next door neighbor got a puppy and it had parvo. You guys, I was so devastated. They ended up saving the dog. But I was so devastated to find out that the dog had parvo, partly because the dog had been in my yard and I had dogs. And I was like, oh my God. So I've always been really, really nervous about taking when they're puppies, like taking them out walking around the neighborhood or like in Lowe's or any place like that until they're fully vaccinated. So I cannot wait until he's completely vaccinated. How you doing, Shag? Good to see you, honey. Remember, there was no ring info originally. Then all of a sudden, bam! Found the camera evidence. Michelle's, I want to say that video they have, I swear I've seen it somewhere else. Michelle, if you find it, honey, you bring it right here to According to Leanie. We'll break it first, love bug. I have seen people say they think the video's fake. Parvo is awful. It is so awful. It's so expensive to get rid of it too. But I just think that if you have an animal like, you know, you got to be prepared to take care of them. And I mean, Cheyenne had to have an emergency cesarean, and you know, different things come up. It's kind of like kids, you know, you got to be prepared. I will just got to remember. Oh, girlfriend, I pray you do remember, because if that is fake, oh, sister, we want to know. John says, if it was a burglary, little girl, you need to get down. If it was a burglary, wouldn't the family know if there was stuff missing? So I am dismissing that. Okay? But would they tell us? Would the police tell us? Meow Meow says, Michelle is my new queen. You beat Leanie. Shut up, Meow Meow. I have to put up with that. Enough from Maggie. Hi, Neil. I heard they used children for a game, Prince Andrew and family. I don't know. You guys, I haven't dug a lot into it because I'm going to tell you what. I'm American. Little girl, you got to get down, sister. You're heavy. I'm American, but I love the royal family. I have fantasized and romanticized and all about everybody's countries but my own. And I love the thought of the king and the queen and the prince and the princess and all the high teas. And so it was very devastating for me. I'm not going to lie. It was very, very devastating for me. When I found out my husband was right. And I struggle. Oh, y'all, I try to live in my picket fence and everybody keeps chopping it up. I'm still the queen meme. Hunger Games, it's starting to feel like that. Oh my gosh. I think the police know more than they're letting on about this case. Absolutely. They always say we know about 1% to 2% of every case. Little girl. You gotta get down, baby. You're too heavy. Get down. Little girl. Thank you. Get down. Lean. They're probably involved in it and paid off too. I wouldn't be surprised. That Listen, I call him Sheriff I don't know. I've never seen someone so incompetent. Hi, Darlene. How you doing, sister? Good to see you. They're all for Muslim now and Ireland. Ireland, I love Ireland too. Y'all, I have just made your countries, wherever you're at, I'm telling you, I've made them so beautiful and majestic in my mind. And I like living that way. I like to think there's much more good in the world and in people than there's bad. And I usually get my heart broken, and it's terrible when you really do believe stuff like that, and then you find out, you know, people who you really, really liked and looked up to, and they're just pieces of shit all the way around. Corruption. Yep. No, wait, I call him Andy Griffin, and he thinks they're in maybe. Aha, Shag. Andy Griffin. Man, I listen, on the other side of Indy, there's a town called Danville, and it's not too far from the Illinois border. And there's Danville is it's got a Mayberry Cafe there and it's got a lot of memorabilia from the show, and they cook hometown, homegrown kind of food. It's kind of a neat place. Don't come to Ireland. It's bad over here. I live here. Oh, no, don't tell me that. I would love to visit Ireland. Hey, Allie, all this and all that and all everywhere. John says sheriff is into hiding, and there's been no statement for a week now. That's right. I don't think he's going to give us one for a while. Just don't. Anybody wondering how come we haven't heard from the prosecutor? Or is that just me? Anyone? On these high-profile cases, don't they normally have the prosecutor there at the pressers? I haven't even laid eyes on the prosecutor yet. Is it just me, or is that unheard of? I mean, this is a really high-profile case, and we've not seen the prosecutor one time. Briefings, yeah, haven't seen anything. Why? Why is that? Oh, in Ireland, you know, I think they've got that problem in Australia. Maybe not every day, but also in England, because Maggie talks about it. It's very sad. You guys know as well as I do, gun violence is big here, very big. So when it comes to like using sharp weapons, you know it's a real personal crime here in the United States when it comes to that. Little girl. Yeah, let me tell you, there's pee-pees all over this house. When I'm walking around, just look in the background, you'll see some. Little girl, stop being sick, man. Oh, so apparently the sheriff had a family member die a couple days. Hold on, I gotta go back. Before a couple days before Nancy went missing, and wonder if that had to do with the crying press conference. I don't know, but it was unprofessional. I don't dig it. It was either his brother or his dad. I can't remember. I didn't know that. I had no clue. Michelle says we should get Candace Owens to investigate for us because she's doing a great job on the Charlie Kirk. Lulu says, do your prosecutors become involved prior to the perp being? A lot of times they do, especially on the higher profile case, or the, just like the Idaho 4, you know, the ones that are just like completely like devastating. I think the ones that are in the news, yeah. you're gonna see the prosecution. Yeah. It's very big here in Massachusetts too. Oh, I love Massachusetts. Yeah, I love. Just think of so many wonderful, beautiful things over there. I was supposed to, for the last 2 years, that's where I was supposed to be for the fall, but my family keeps screwing up and taking up my time. I'm a mess. I'm a mass hole as well. Shag says, yes, supposedly his brother passed away. I didn't know that. I had no clue. I'm just saying he's going through it right now. Another good reason he might need a leave of absence or something. He needs a leave, all right. All this says, I watched Brian's video today. I was interested. The guest said that normally after 24 hours of the victim missing, the FBI normally takes over. I'm like, why didn't they take over? They're not allowed to take over unless the sheriff's department or the police department ask them to take over. That's the truth. Unless the only way that they're allowed to take over is the minute when they can prove, like if they could prove that the perpetrators went over the border with or without Nancy, immediately it becomes an FBI case. But if they can't prove that nothing's happened over state lines or over international borders, they cannot take over unless they are asked to. Sheriff speaks in script, right? We Aussies can't fathom guns in regular homes. We just don't have guns unless you have a farm or a Middle East crime gang member. Wow. Y'all, I don't have much time left on this phone. I think I've got 3 or 4% left on the battery because when I took a nap last night, I went to bed with my phone, and I try not to do that, but sometimes if I feel like off or I feel like, I don't know, sometimes I guess all parents do this, like you feel like, well, maybe something could happen tonight, so I should probably take my phone with me so my kids can get in touch with me. And that's the feeling that I had last night, and so I took my phone with me, and it almost died in there. Sorry, I forgot the double send. No big deal, don't know anything about the double send. You guys do me a favor, we double tap the screen if you have not yet. I appreciate you guys being here. I know this has been a different kind of a live, but these absolutely are my favorite, where I could just sit here, put you guys on the big screen, and just try my best to keep up with chat, and just have conversations. I really like doing it this way. When we're not doing true crime, we do a lot of our lives like this if Maggie's not going to be on the live with me. But if I know Maggie's going to come up sometime during my live, then I will be on the computer doing it. So anyways, I thank you guys for being here. Listen, check out Maggie's show with Lizzo, you guys. They usually go live anywhere between 2 and 3 Eastern Standard Time in the United States. Yesterday was a great show. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It was really good. It was really a lot of funny parts of the show. And I was in chat, but I wasn't doing much chatting because I was doing other things. But, so they will be live again today. Hopefully they'll have something. Yesterday they really didn't have a whole lot to report on. So, you get to, if we don't have a whole lot to report on, you actually get to know us better because you see our personalities. We talk about, our lives, our home lives, our, silly stuff. So, there was a lot of that going on yesterday. It was pretty funny. But hopefully something will come out today. I'm going to be honest, it's Saturday. I don't think it's going to. I do think that if we don't hear anything by Monday or Tuesday, that they're going to release more video or something. Something's going to come out. So you guys make sure to tune in. Make sure your bells are turned on because we like nothing more than to ring them. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you to all of the new subs. Thank you to the mods who every day show up. I know we're driving them crazy, running 2 lives a day now. But we'll get through it and then we'll get back to some kind of regularity, hopefully that makes more sense than this. But the case has got us wrapped and we just can't. We want to know too, just like everybody else. I see you, Muffin. You said, I just beat cancer. Congratulations. God's good all the time. So happy to hear that. Yes, get stronger. I pray you keep getting stronger. Hi, Diane. So good to see you. So I don't have much battery left on this one, and my pups are starting to bed down. So that means that I can actually do a sweep without them getting into the piles and pulling out stuff they think I'm throwing away. So that's how this normally works. All right, I don't have any outro because I am not on my computer, so you guys will have to sing yourself out the door. And I hope to see you guys on the next live. I'll probably go on live earlier tomorrow night than what I went tonight. Hopefully there'll be more to talk about, more to do, and we'll handle it there. Thank you so much for being here. April, please check your Discord. All right, guys. Love you so much. Thank you for being here. You guys rock the Casbah. If you can't be good at it, and we'll see you next time. Y'all be good. Bye.